cold more often.
And it is just talking about the materials.
Yes.
It is different materials.
Now, if
The
you go
hot
to
one.
doing a lot
the
of
fugitive
plastic,
one, yeah, that use.
yeah, if you go to doing a lot of plastic and stuff like that, you'll probably use more hot. But they do make cold that will bond to plastic, but they don't make them as good as the ones like that glue that was in here. That stuff would stick to everything. It was like a fugitive, but it was a stay soft, stay flexible glue. So that was for cold. Now you can run that same glue with hot and still do the refrigeration because it's a stay soft. So therefore it'll bond and it doesn't get brittle and then peel apart. It stays flexible so it doesn't come apart.
But the way that you mentioned about the cold, that would stay better for the refrigerator.
It can. And cold's a lot easier to work with. Hot, you're burning yourself, you're running temps. So the cold, wet rag, wipe the tip, boom, you're off again. Here it can be tougher, and these heads are a little bit bigger. You have the hoses, those are a little bit smaller footprint, so you can really get them into some tight places if you're doing complex stuff.
Cool. Okay.
All right, we'll keep moving. We'll let that bring up. Oh yeah, it's liquid. So now we're past that. So now we're looking at putting rollers to move forward for the next section. So again, we've got to move this far enough to get it out so we can put the other plow on to do the same thing we just did, just back this way. Knowing in that application that we're going to have a glue head over there. So we do what we need to do to make the fold, and we figure out where we can put the glue head. Basically what it boils down to. So
Quick
now,
question regarding moving ahead. We shouldn't have a gap between the heads, otherwise it won't.
yeah, it's
trans.
loose. Yeah, and this big piece, you could have a decent gap like that because it's controlled, because it's a big enough piece. But if it was a smaller piece, yeah, and that's the problem with the roller is when you're running a small piece, it really needs to be not this length, it needs to be that length. That way you have two rollers on it all the time and not just one where it's doing this. At least it's staying flat coming across. So you really focus on, you don't want to go any smaller than that distance right there.
Sure. For example, now we have a couple of those that we've taken off. We can put them back to transfer, or you want to start putting the head for the glue right now?
Well, no, we'll do the glue head we'll do last. So
okay.
that'll be the last thing we put in position. So now we want to get the other plow. So we want to move this forward so where we can start making that plow, which again, we're going to go forward a little bit.
Sorry, if I'm not mistaken, we have to put the glue here. Then we will flip it over.
You don't have to.
Oh.
You have, at this point, you have two options. You can put glue in the middle, or you can put glue out there.
Yep.
You can do it either or. Typically in these, when you get into these, you typically don't have room to put it here, so you put it on the outside and bring it over to the top.
Cool. Okay.
Typically. We'll see. There's plenty of room on this. We can probably do it either way, but we'll just kind of see how it turns out. So we're going to jog forward a little bit. Okay, so we're right there. We still have control. Now we need to look at putting transport rollers in place. We need to look at where our sword or our plow and all that stuff. So that plow is going to come in over there. We're not going to use that whole scan on this side. We don't have to. So we want this plow right here. I'm out here, I'm free. We're going to get another 6 roller. We're going to tie it off of this bar coming forward. 6.
Um, actually, Oh.
rotate it. Okay, so now we've got that one under control there. So now we can start our fold process. I'm going to probably move it back to at least this roller, if not more. We can start that process right here.
You're not gonna use the same roller as this one?
I don't like moleskin.
Oh,
I ain't using the moleskins unless I have to. I didn't realize we had another set out there. I wouldn't have put that one
uh-huh.
on there.
Cancor. No, Fernando. Ci dice volevamo guardare, ma la io la mia ri. By end of today, ma non credo. To set those up, we will just make it to go all the way, then we count 4 down.
4 back up. That's just lifting it. That gives you, once you get it kind of where you want it, that lets you actually be able to lower it down if you need to. But you can only go 1 full revolution down. So you want to get it close. And a lot of people will put them in and just drop them down, tighten them up, and then just raise them back up with that. It just depends on what you're more comfortable with. The problem is once you do that all the time, then at some point in time they're all the way up, and then you've got to lower them all back down and reset them and start over. I don't mind doing it either way. I've done it both ways. It just depends. So right there, so we'll do that style. So we'll go up 1, 2, 3, 4. That brought us up 4 more. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hand me that piece of paper and we'll just check it right there.
Then it's just
You just basically want to touch it. So that's at the right height. I might scoot it out just a little bit more. There we go. Now that one comes into play. Now I think this one may be longer. No, it really doesn't. This is just a narrower piece for like if you're doing a smaller box. And it looks like they actually cut it.
yep.
So.
Just to go this way. Ok, io do naso, no? میدی جلو جلو کامل، میدیش بالا، میدیش عقب. Watch out.
Tilt that end up a little bit. No, that end.
No.
Your end up. There you go. Go back one.
Back one. No. Better follow. How about that? Chin up.
More to that. Now we need this one. Nope. Now. Okay. So, there's that one. Now we're starting the plow process on this side. We'll have to fine tune a little bit once we do it. So now we'll start putting rollers in over here. Now, this, when it comes into that roller, that's when it's at its flat phase. So we technically could put a roller anywhere along here we want. So we'll try and put it in the full length so we get a hold of it. So we'll drop a 6 in right here, which we should be able to bolt that.
شش تایی.
And we may have to put it on the front side depending on where that back roller starts.
ممکنه که مجبور بشیم اونوری بذاریم.
No, that's fine.
Yeah.
So we can actually put that.
It's just almost touching this one. Wouldn't it?
Put it like that right there. Go ahead and tighten those up. Not right. Just tighten it.
Ah, okay.
And it will fit there. You just have to finagle it. But we're just going to do it there for right now because we're kind of centered on that tab. So now we'll.
Drop it.
Loosen it,
Drop.
drop it down. There you go.
Okay.
Tighten it back up.
You don't want to bring it to
No,
the
I'm
back
gonna-
up.
For right now, I'm going to put it there.
And we will bring it up.
Now we got drive right there. We can't put any more drive here, so we're going to have to put drive down the middle. But again, we're back into the same point, and we're going to start folding over and sticking it down here.
Then it's better again to put 10.
Could be. I'm going to stick it, because we got plenty, I'm going to stick a 6 in there, because I'm going to put a 6 here and just kind of catch it and add on to it and see where we go.
Should be getting
So that's where we're at there. We're probably going to get another one and put in line because we've got to keep driving it, and I can't put anything over here because I need to fold it over. Now, I might put a set in here, but see how drastic that is. When I get here, it's going to run right into that. But my glue tab's out here, so I might be able to put a second one right next to this, and I may be able to move that one to this side and put it out in front and put one right here. That
You
way
mean one here and one there?
Yeah, we'll move.
Okay,
Go.
then we can put that over there and I will add another one.
We'll slide this one over,
Yeah.
and we can put another one on that side.
Yes,
here.
stay. Thank you. See?
You may want to put it on the front side. Turn it around.
This way?
Take this one. Yep.
That way.
So you may want to get the other
The other.
side.
I will bring.
No, that's the same.
Are you sure? Oh,
Now there's a box back there. Now we need to get out of that carton that's it has a bunch of these in it. And then you just want to line it up straight with that one when you actually get it on there.
خب صبر کن. No, little bit further toward me.
Here?
نیم. آره اینو بگی. ولش کن.
It's set.
Loosen it. Let it fall again. There you go. Now tighten it. But now we've got tension. Now we should be able to drive it through here with all this control and still plow that over the top. So, in this scenario, we would put that glue head.
Sorry.
You're fine. You know it worked.
Yes.
Just push white.
No. If I count the screen was off.
Okay. Now jog it with the jog buttons. Nope, not jog
No. The jug is on the screen.
So that's going to let us come over and see what kind of action we're getting there. We're going to have to mess with that. Yes. And then that's coming over. That's pretty much clear. We're opening the center. We can put glue down so we can shoot glue here or we can shoot glue out there and bring it over. And now we just got to fine tune it, make sure it's all square. So now that the glue's up and functioning, the glue's up the temp will let the feed work. So now you can go to the start it up. Now you can hit the feeder. That's still not up to 1000. I gotta see that one. Yeah, this will be green around that right there. You have a green circle when it's up to 10. We don't have it yet, so we can't. But it should still let me feed because I don't need it right now. That's what's not making any sense. Let me make sure it's turned on down here. Now it will let us feed. So it had these turned on for hot melt, had those. So this was, that's why I keep getting the signal here. Because it's like you're getting hot melt, but I don't have it ready. Now it should let us feed.
But this was the main screen. Why it is not linked?
Well, because
on
that
one?
was turned on for heat, this one's not, so it's telling me that I don't have heat. You don't need it
okay.
down there, but I need it down here.
Same screen. On the other side, these were on.
Yeah.
That was
Okay.
So now it should let us feed one. So you feed it in like that, it stopped. Now you can jog it through there. It should have fed one that time. I know we're gonna have to really play with that. I may want to take that off. That one's coming out fairly straight, so that could be what it is. That the molds can't be messing with us. All right.
Okay.
I'm just gonna nip that.
I will take it out.
Why you are going to take off?
No, we are just gonna put the other
Oh,
one.
the other
without
one.
the
Without this.
small screen.
We want the other one without the fur.
the one which I'm gonna try before that you
Yeah, we're
mentioned.
gonna adjust that once you kind of. So what I do with those is basically
Put it
snug
up.
them and then raise it up a little bit when you do it so it can articulate.
Okay.
So yeah, just snug them right there. Now back those off. Oh, see how high these are? They're way up. So just back those off.
All the way up to the time that it cannot go
Yeah,
higher.
go all the way to. Now when it does that, you're gonna have to hold that one. 'Cause that's prevented. You probably have to do one at a time. But if you go to too much, then it's going to kind of bind itself. You have to kind of go back and forth.
You need to oil it up or no? It's just pressure. Oh, means
Yeah, it's tilted. Could be.
no. Maybe that one was.
Yeah, you're at the bottom. So you're at the bottom now. So now you can bring them up. Four faces, basically.
Okay. Means we will 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Yep.
Now this one. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay.
Now
Now you drop it down.
again, same thing.
With
No,
this
no.
one you don't do that way.
Oh,
No.
with this one we don't.
No, this one you don't. If anything, you would like to set it there. Can't remember, yeah. One of these is, let's try it. I can't remember if one of these has that ability.
It wasn't in the highest position,
It was
yeah.
in the smallest
Yeah, I don't
position.
want it in the highest because we're not trying to move it a long ways. So these are just a little bit different. Hand me that little piece of paper.
You're not gonna use the highest one because the
No, you don't. Only for rollers.
4 rollers.
Only
Okay.
for rollers.
And these ones seems they have accident or something. They just
No, that's how it's made. That's just to support that. So
I thought maybe they just
no. You just couldn't see it on the other one. So, okay, so we're there. We're going to have to just raise it up. To there. Then we go up. 1, 2. Now you've got plenty. You can slip the paper under it.
It stick on it?
Huh?
It stick on it? پیش گیر کرد که داره میده
And
بالا.
see when we raise that up, see how that side went down? So, other way.
1, 2.
Yep. So now that's free. Let's go back and make sure this still is. Yeah. So,
Now it's level.
yep. And that way you're not too tight. Now, we're going to feed one in, we're going to jog it, and we're going to fine tune this to see if we can settle that in. We want it basically just on that score. That way it controls it. Tighten that down. Okay. And then we'll bump it a little bit, just a little. Keep going. Now we're going to bring this sword in to just inside that sword. Let's back out just a little bit. All right, now jog that through and let's see if it tries to actually fold that one straight. Still crooked. Did we hit the scores? Off the score a little bit. Okay. So, because of that, doing that, I need to back this up a little bit because that's coming in here and hitting this real hard, which is causing the flex. So we're going to move this one back a little bit, which means we have to move this over out of the way. Now we'll grab another bar, pull one of those bars, and we'll move it down here. This is on 6.
Check, there's the paper underneath. It's not too loose. Should I bring it a little bit
Yeah.
down?
That's good on that one.
Oh.
Don't have anything interrupting its travel. It's coming down fairly smooth. Oh yeah, it's probably not set up. Compression.
Compression.
Just pressure.
For water, isn't supposed to have the heat
Do what?
right up for water based.
No. No, it's just conventional. What it does, it has to be held under pressure for a certain amount of time
Oh.
so it can set and get a ball. Yeah. If it wasn't for cold, you wouldn't have that. If it was hot, you wouldn't even have that on there. You don't need it for hot.
That seems correct, if I'm not mistaken. Can you tell me what's the problem with this? Because it looks like it's bended on the scored area, isn't that correct?
It's scoring, but here's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing the cracks and stuff.
Oh, okay.
And it could be part
Shouldn't
of
have
the
to crack.
Huh?
No,
Shouldn't
no.
have to
No,
crack.
no, no, it shouldn't. No, it should be nice and smooth. But that could be the paper and not the right thickness of paper for the plate and all that for your counter on the die cut. So
Maybe
that
that
can
is
cause
why.
it. But I'm not seeing it over here, not near as bad. So I think it's just the transition. So I'm just trying to get this in its happy spot. Which a lot of times I can.
So it can be because of the less pressure that we had on the die. Possibly, I'm just
Yeah,
thinking
if you
about.
if you buy a die and a counter plate for it that's designed to run 24 point, and then you run 12 or 16 in it, it's not going to be right. It's that height of rule and all that stuff, and the cutout and the plate is going to be wrong. That's where matrix comes into play. So until you guys really get it fine-tuned of what you're doing, because if you buy a die to do 24 point, and then you find out that you're running 10 point all the time, that's wrong. You're not going to get good scores. It's going to crack all the time. So you would have to buy that die with plates for
Counter
24, plates for 18, plates for 12, plates for whatever. So you need to have a matching plate so it puts the right score in. That's where Matrix.
Didn't it mention on the plate what was the point for the paper? Or no?
I don't know. That would be the information you gave them of telling them what it was supposed to be for, because that's how they're going to build the relief in it. But I want to say it was for like 18 or 20. I think.
Yeah.
I don't know. And this is not that. But that could be why I'm seeing that, why it's not folding as good as what I'd like to see. But we're in the realm to play with it. But I don't like it to see how that and that.
Yeah, it's not line.
Those should be
aligned.
square. And that could be from the score. I'm gonna handful one.
So when we saw the crack, should we just rotate the rollers or changing the pressure?
It can be from the
It can be
die,
both. So already,
material.
so it's already just wanting to fold a little bit crooked. Just by hand. See how it's off a little bit there? So you're getting a little bit of that just from it, and it's cracking by hand. So that tells me it's not as good as it could be in the right.
This
Pressures
offside
and-
that we already saw,
Yeah.
it's for die cutting.
Yeah. And this, the way it's built, it should always be square, but because the score's not deep and the way it should be, you should be able to hand fold and then go over square. And with it hand folding and already coming out crooked, that tells me these depths and all that stuff's not right for this material. But we can get it as good as we can get it, but there's only so much you can do here manipulating scores back and forth. It kind of is what it is. Short of something hitting this when it's coming through and doing that, and it like forcing it down like that early. And that's what I was seeing early on. It was because we weren't lined up, we were getting this score here, and this score was folding here. It's just because we weren't lined up. Now that we're decently lined up, we're going to deal with what that gave us. And there's not a lot you can do with it.
It's lifted up, yeah.
Yeah, that can go. So that lets that come underneath it. So this has to roll back to get the right depth. So you want this sheet comes out and can go under it, the next sheet can go under it. If this is too tight, it's just going to buckle that up
Yeah.
because it gets pressure. So, and we're not sealing it and gluing it, and we had two come through overlap together, so that's part of what's caused the problem. So for this, we just want to move that back so that can come out and deliver. So we'll tighten that back up. This is where you'll fine tune stuff a little bit, and then this can be raised up a little bit. And I'm going to drop it down quite a bit. That way that sheet can come out and kind of drop, because once it's glued, that's going to stay down.
Yeah.
Okay. The next one should come out over the top of it. Now it could run into it here at first until it's just right. But I'll raise this up a little bit. Ow, damn, that hurt. So that'll give us some clearance room for it to come out over the top of it and stuff like that. Okay. Raise this up. Now it's just setting your belt tensions is all that's for. Okay.
Let's go over
Back
there.
and place it. So now that we've got this, now we'll feed another one in. We'll get it here. Now we can start stacking the rollers down through there.
Ah,
Okay, now we can start grabbing the rollers and start setting them down through here. So what you want, you basically want a set of rollers that's going to set on top of where you put glue, and you want a set of rollers out here that just keeps it going straight. So you're going to put two sets of rollers, one row here and one row here. So if you set them up using the right clamps, you technically can go, once you figure out where this first one is, and you're using this clamp, and say it's on 12, then you should be able to go down through there and put all of them on 12 and drop the rollers in and keep going.
set on the
Should be able to. That depends on the bars and the labels and all that stuff, but that would be the thing. So I would start with some 24s, because even if you double up 6s, you're only going to get so far. So I would start with, I would put two sets of 6s here. That way,
two 6.
that way you can move them around a little. He'll probably have to steal them from those right there. But that way you can move them around a little bit. Then you can start dropping your doubles, and you can go back into 6s. So you want the ones you know you're not going to mess with to be the hardest ones. So it's the 10s.
At the end of the stage,
And
would
then
be the hardest.
You want some, well, you want some that you can move around. These will kind of be there most of the time. You're never moving them, and those are harder to work with. And then put some 6s there at the end. So you just kind of fill in the middle.
And we're gonna have the glue.
We're gonna do the glue back there.
Oh, it is like a hose and gonna attach it.
Is here. Then we're gonna fill in with the white ones. But I need to get some of the other side, so we need to go get that thing of the clamps out of that box so we can have the other side.
Oh, okay.